Reserve storage. Should have seen the folks come by when Granny died. Those who were still around picked their stuff up, and Wilma took and stored the things that were left over. I remember. Lots of memories. Louis Frank's wife went over to help Wilma's family. One of her girls found them in a cardboard box. Edith gave them to Bertha over at the center, and Bertha gave them to Big John, and Big John gave them to me. Harlen reached into a coat pocket and pulled out a package. It was a thick rectangle wrapped around with blue velvet and tied with yellow yarn. "Letters," said Harlen. "Hey, from your father." "Dear Rose, I'm gonna stop by and see you and the boys soon. Sorry you had to leave the reserve, but Calgary's a better place for a swell girl like you. Stupid rule anyway. I'd send some money, but I'm short right now. Gotta save up for a new saddle. Man's gotta work, you know. Hey, could you send me a picture of the boys? Yourself, too." I had seen the letters before. My mother used to keep them in a wooden chest in her closet. The chest was always locked, but that's what bobby pins were for. James and me had listened to countless detectives pick countless locks with bobby pins. I found the key and the bobby pins in the same drawer. There was a box of photographs in the chest. Most of the photographs were of groups of men and women standing against the prairie and the sky. The men were tall and dark in white shirts and cowboy hats. The women wore long dresses. There were several pictures of George Harley on a horse. I recognized him. There was one of an old man with braids sitting in a straight-backed chair on the edge of a coulee. Years later, Granny Pete showed me a picture of the same man and said he was my grandfather. My mother was in most of the pictures, and while I didn't know who the rest of the people were, I supposed they were family. There was one picture of my mother. She had on a pleated skirt that was fanned out like a blanket on the ground in front of her. Kneeling behind her with his hand on her shoulder was a man in a uniform. "Dear Rose, I got a new job with a real estate company. Nothing to it. Beats the hell out of rodeo, and it pays better, too. Figured I'd try it for a while till my leg heals. If I like it, I may just give up the circuit and settle down. You know, my boss drives one of those big Chevrolets. You gotta have money to buy one of those things. Thanks for the pictures of the boys. Good-looking boys. I didn't know I had such good-looking boys. Well, you had something to do with it too, chick. Maybe you could send me one of our wedding pictures." The letters were in the trunk under the photographs. I was reading them when my mother came home. "I didn't do anything wrong," I said. "I was just reading." She stood there, and I could see her hands clench and tremble. "Those are my letters," she said. "I was just reading." "I don't want you in my things." "They're from my father. The letters." "Just put them down. Damn! You keep out of my things." And she slapped me. Hard. "Stop reading those letters, you hear me?" And she began to cry. "They're private. You never heard of private?" Then she slapped me again. I tried to jerk out of the way and I scattered the letters on the floor. I lay beside the bed, my tongue clamped between my teeth to keep my lips from shaking. I remember her on her knees, crying and trying to gather up the letters and the blue velvet cloth and the yarn. I ran past her and down the stairs. "Will?" I spent the rest of the day at the river. She had never hit me. Never. James found me that evening. "You better come home. Mom's real upset. She's been crying, Will." "Let her cry. I'll come home when I feel like it." "She said I was supposed to bring you home. Tell her you couldn't find me." "What'd you do to get her so mad?" "I just read some of her dumb old letters." We ate dinner in silence that night. My mother, my brother, and me. Afterwards, she took me into her bedroom. "I don't want you to ever go on my chest again. Those things in there are mine. Do you understand?" I didn't say anything. I kept my eye.